if you had to like nail down what a Christian is, I'd say it's about like following a way of life that Jesus inspired.
Yeah.
But even that, to me, like, I think I would more define it as being like instilling a set of values
I agree with that.
our children, and that's more about what it means to me.
Yeah. I think the main thing is to go what values, which may come from your faith, it may come from another thing. If you're a listener without a faith,
I have no
it may
like,
come from a
thing
different
to say
thing.
that like Christian values are better than other people's.
No.
That's not at all. That's why I prefer to talk about faith rather than Christianity, because I do have a more sort of...
Yes, I just think it helps people because that's our cultural context that we're in.
Yeah,
But yeah. No, so should we discuss what values we're trying to raise in our children and how we're trying to do that?
Sure. I don't know if I have any answers for that, but do you have anything?
No, I've just come up with it now, but I thought it was interesting.
Okay.
One of the main values I really, it's not like I'm a really good person, but I think I was naturally raised to have this value, is the like acts of service. But I like to help people. Like if I see somebody inconvenienced at all, and Elliot hates it because I'm always getting involved in other people's business. But so there's a poor.
You're very selfless, altruistic.
But I'm saying I think that's how I was raised.
Empathetic.
So I would see my parents go out of their way to help people.
Yeah.
And that's what I want for my children.
Yeah.
And once it becomes your value, it's kind of part of your core. So I can't help it. If I see somebody, like we were in hospital once, we were stuck in A&E.
Yeah.
And there was a poor lady who had a broken leg. She couldn't move. And they were telling everybody, well, welcome to England, everybody. Like, it's going to be at least an 11-hour wait to see people.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I better go around and ask people if they want drinks. And Elliot's like, why? Why are you going around? And I said, well, they don't have anyone here. There's not a charity. A lot of these people can't move.
Yeah.
What are we meant to do?
You're just very kind.
Yes.
You go around and help everyone. I know we should all be like Emma.
But
sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to. Why are we doing this? Why are we like?
I can see, because everybody said it, you just looked at me like, really?
We're
in hospital
do we have to go
here.
and get everyone water? Really?
And I remember I was like, it's okay, you could sit there. I'll go around and talk to him. I think half of your stuff is like, you're not really sociable, so it's hard for you to go out your way. I like
to keep myself to myself.
Whereas I'm like, oh, that person needs help. I'm going.
Yeah. I don't know if this is coming off well for me. It sounds like I don't like helping people. I'm quite empathetic. I just think,
and I don't know, like, I think it is how I've been raised. And that's what I'm really hoping to instill in our children.
Why don't I have this value?
I don't know. But together, I'd like us to try and instill it in their children. Because I think it's nice. Like, the world would be so much of a nicer place if everybody had the thought of, oh, that person's like alone, that person is in trouble. Like, there's a woman at the platform who was crying one day and I was like, do you need any help? Like,
yeah.
I think
well, okay.
a lot of...
What about this then? I just think
a lot of our culture is quite selfish, and I don't want that for our children.
I agree. I wonder, actually, is it how your parents raised you? You grew up in the north. That is like
true.
Quite a like stereotype of what northerners are like. They look out for each other in their communities. I unfortunately grew up in the south, and whether my parents instilled it or not, I think our communities didn't have that same
And I think
bond.
Even in the south, it is harder just to talk to strangers.
We don't do it.
Whereas I do think in the north that's very normal.
Yeah.
Like, it's very normal for someone to come up and talk to you.
I wonder if actually that is a reflection on our upbringings, but not necessarily our parents.
That's true. It could be the region you live in.
Kind of the location of where we grew up and the culture of. So actually this question goes beyond how are we raising our children. It's actually about who are we surrounding our children with?
Yes,
what sort of community do we want to raise our children in?
And that's why church is good, because those people should be.
be.
But it's true, because they do like food banks and stuff. A lot of them do good things.
Yeah.
I think that is why church is a good plus. My number one is I really like them to be kind, and if they see anyone who needs help, who they would offer it.
Are we okay?
I've got number 2. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Can I give one?
You can.
See if it's similar to your one.
Okay.
I would say like curiosity.
Mm-hmm. It's a good one.
So like just like passion and interest in the world.
Yeah.
And I think we've talked about this before at length a little bit.
It's one of our main reasons for doing what we call Fun Friday.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, like, it links into the education system.
Yeah.
Like, one of our biggest pet peeves with that is that my experience, and I feel like it's still the case today, is that it kind of beats that curiosity out of you.
Yeah.
That like it just tries to make everyone uniform and actually leaves you with a lack of interest in learning.
And it makes you hate things. Like I hated Shakespeare because I had to learn it.
Yeah.
And Shakespeare's actually really good. But when you've been told you have to read this play, now you have to do this essay, now you have to... And if they'd gone, oh, we'll take you to see the play, how much more would I have enjoyed it?
Yeah.
But because that's not... And I get that's not the budget every school has. Maybe some very good schools do. I think a lot of the way it's taught just makes you not love it. And I think we're both real champions of if Lily's passionate about something, and I'm sure we'll do it once Lola has passions, but she's 1 at the minute, so she just likes cars. But because like Lily likes the arts, I'm really passionate about being like, well, let's go to lots of plays. Let's feed
I think
your
it does
passions
trickle
and your
down
interest.
into like what we do with our young children, because I think some of these, like the 2 values we've already mentioned, sort of do influence like some of the styles of play and learning that we like try to instill from a very early age.
Well, that's
like,
true, yeah.
If you're a long-term listener, you know, like we're quite into Montessori and other like, what else are we into? Just, you know, like stuff like that, that independent play and imaginative play and
trying to make everybody equal.
Even just like play itself, just like being like, that is how kids learn, that I think is a reflection of that value of trying from an early age, that kids can follow their passions, can explore the world, and trusting them. Yeah. That like we don't need to motivate them for them, that they have the self-motivation to like, to flourish.
For instance, I was asking Lily, what do you want to do on Friday? And she's told me she wants to go to a museum. And I want to be like, I don't know if most 5-year-olds do want to go to a museum.
True.
Because they haven't experienced that much.
I think that could be more of a reflection on...
Oh, well, there's bad museums. That could be true.
No. I was going to say like leading by example. Like I think in order for us to instill these values in our kids, it's not about telling them stuff. It's not about... I don't know how you would like force values on kids, but it's about us embodying them ourselves and our kids then noticing that those are things that we... So like the fact that we show interest and like show passion for museums and history and learning, and I think that's what Lily is attracted to. It's not necessarily...
Yes, that's true.
Like, I think any kids you could take to a museum, they might or might not be interested in it. But
I think it's also...
the way we react to it is what's important.
And it does depend how fun you can make it.
Yeah.
You could make a museum very boring if you wanted to. Yeah, no, that's a good one. I want to say like acceptance, but I don't know if that's a good word for it. Like non-judgment.
Like inclusive.
Inclusivity, maybe that's it.
Yeah, the sort of welcoming, like accepting of others.
Yeah,
sort of
like I don't want my children to look at people and like, of course you are. Like, of course they're going to judge people when they see them. That's just a natural part of being human. But
yeah, there's unconscious bias which you have to unlearn. But like whatever the opposite of bigotry is,
I want them to go like, oh, that person believes that, and that's cool. Yeah, that person looks that way. That's fine. Like, I don't want them to have anything and go, oh, well, that's really different and weird.
And again, I feel like looking at how like Gen Z are acting in the world, I'm quite confident that that's not something we'll have a huge challenge over, because that is just the way the world is heading, the way young people inspire me, that they are way more inclusive than generations above them.
It's a good point. It just worries me seeing certain stuff with Trump and what he does,
of course,
and like that people voted for
with
that
reform here. I get it.
And we do know like that is a majority older people,
and we know like we've got friends and family who are mixed race and have other ethnicities, and like racism is still like a massive thing. We always said we were going to do an episode on that at some point.
Yes, we do need to.
We really need to get some other voices like guesting on the podcast to talk about it. But it's like even that, like, it's still an issue today.
It is, but like, we're not going to pretend it's anything in the past. But so one of my primary things is not judge people based on anything like that.
So, but that is, again, if we do an episode on it, we can go deeper into this. But that is something we've done from a very young age with our kids, is to like, you specifically went out of your way to buy books to read to Lily and Lola when they were babies and up, that like showcase different cultures, different races, different colours.
Because I was listening to a podcast years ago when I was pregnant with Lily, and they were talking about how a lot of books that are meant to be inclusive basically single out the child as being weird. So they're like, oh, this main character is black. Yeah. This main character is in a wheelchair.
Well, it's
and
kind of how it is in films and like
and they were like,
media.
That makes it great. Be like, you're saying, oh, this kid's weird or different. Or whereas if they're like, oh, it's a book and the main character happens to be black, it's not really something that singles them out. They might show them. So like, there's a good book we've got. Oh, I can't remember what it's called.
I can literally see, I don't know if it's the one you're thinking of. I can literally see one over there.
Oh, no, but this one, yes. This one's The Little Mermaid. And it's Once Upon a World. Once again, these books are fantastic. Yeah. Big shout out. And they basically, all the characters are from different cultures.
Yeah.
So this one's like a Latin American one.
Yeah.
See. So books like I've Been Forgot, we did that. So books like that. And there's a book we have about, I think it's called Sunflower Sisters. And it's showing like an Indian wedding and an African wedding, and they both like live in London.
So again, it's not just like replacing characters in known stories with someone of a different race, but it's actually like telling cultural stories that are like introducing kids
so I can be like, oh look, that's what a wedding is like in this culture. This is what this wedding is like. And like Lily loves it because she goes, oh, they wear such beautiful, because you know she's fashionable.
Yeah.
They wear such beautiful clothes. As people who are white, I don't want her to go, oh, they're different. I want her to go, yeah, they're black. They might have a different culture, but that's normal.
And in the same
that's
vein,
normal for
we're
everybody.
Kind of doing a similar thing with like LGBT stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's a trickier conversation in a way, I think.
And there's not much. It's easier now because a lot of film and media, for instance, I really like in is it Strange World?
Strange World. Oh yeah, yeah.
The boy in it is like fancies another boy.
Yeah.
And no point.
Again, if you might not have seen this because it's a pretty obscure, but it is a Disney film.
Disney film. And I like that it's not really alluded to as being a problem. They're just he likes another boy. That's who he fancies. And at no point has Lily questioned that.
Yeah.
She just accepts that that's the thing. So
like we have introduced as a concept that like girls can marry girls and boys can marry boys.
It's just hard from our cultural context because nobody we know.
Yeah, and I was going to say this about race as well. Like, I think one of the reasons we've really tried hard from a young age is because we live in rural Yorkshire.
Yeah.
The diversity here isn't amazing. She doesn't naturally encounter
many people of
huge
different
diversity, which is a shame. But it means like we've intentionally tried to focus on that because it is a value that we want to raise our kids with. And so we've started that young, that they are exposed to other, stuff. Yeah, I'm sure there's other things probably in that same category that we could talk about more about. But that all plays into just the same.
And we can do that on a separate podcast topic. So that's we'll save some of our stuff for that. But yeah, that's one of my main things. Is I think it kind of goes along with kindness, but I just want her to be aware that people might treat other people differently, and that's not okay.
Yeah.
But I think once again, like a lot of good storytelling shows that. So like. Wicked's great because Elphaba, we had a whole conversation about why don't people like Elphaba? Because she's green. Well, why would it matter that she's green? Oh, well, everybody else is a different colour and that's why they don't like her. And Lily kept being like, well, that's not fair. And I said, it's not fair, is it? That's not the way we should be. So there's so many things you can watch and have great lessons that you can take from and talk to children.
And this is for me, I mean, this is what I do in my job and my work, but is also what I would love to do, because I think just some of the Bible stories are just not very relatable.
And it's hard because I think for children, there's so many words. Yeah. It gets really
the culture and context takes so much understanding.
Yes.
Whereas we can...
Even for adults. Well, yeah, for us to try and understand stories, we're like, well, what language is it in? And what was the cultural context? And why do we think that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you can take modern media, you can take Disney films, you can take like books, you can take very simple things, I don't know, like the Gruffalo or something. Yeah. And like out of that, you can develop conversations about values, about what
and
we
even
believe.
faith.
And faith.
Like, I think Moana's a really good one for faith. Sorry, this is going against another
this is basically, you're veering straight into my
yeah
job. Like, I do a series of videos I share where I explore like faith and spirituality themes in Disney films.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
maybe
check him out.
Yeah.
So like Moana, like she's trusting the sea to guide her. It's like you trust God to guide you. Like it's a very clear kind of
metaphor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
I think there's a lot of good things out there that you can follow.
That's a good segue to shift the conversation on a little bit. We may not have covered all the values there, but
we've only done 3, but that's
we could talk forever.